Jackie, I wanna bamboina. Ilalina Jumjangway.
Master Robusta on the beat.
Chum chuma. Gaila, fine coma. Wing any tea across the long.
Hello. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, fellow Ambazonians, wherever you are watching us across the world. Welcome this evening to the address by our President, Sako Ikome. We welcome you all to this broadcast. Please share as you join. I will be joined by Ta Paddy King in a moment. So just share as you join. Our president will be right here to talk to us. A lot has happened, a lot has been going on, but we have to move forward because the enemy, La Republic, have not stopped killing our people. They have not stopped destroying and remaining in our territory. And we must continue to focus, to do everything within our ability, within our power, to ensure that we push the enemy out of our territory. And yes, we are focused with the interim government headed by President Sako, and that is why he wants to come and talk to us that we must move forward. The first half of the year we've had so much distractions, and we must stay focused. We must stay on the prize, and the prize is to take us to Ambazonia, to Boya, where we will celebrate the restoration of our freedom, the restoration of our independence that we got in 1961. So let us join, share to invite everybody to come and watch and listen and be inspired and be motivated, because that's what you get on this platform. You have information that will inspire you, educate you, motivate you, inspire your revolutionary, your fighting spirit and will, so that no matter what the enemy throw at us, no matter what distraction the enemy brings to us, no matter how they try to derail and distract us, no matter how they try to discourage us, but we know, we are convinced in our spirit, and we know that the only price, that the only reward for the price we have paid so far and continue to pay is the restoration of our territory. So continue to share as we wait for the president, and Paddy will be joining me very soon. So stay tuned. I will be right back. Thank you.
good videographer.
And I kept searching.
And searching.
There are so many choices.
It's really hard to find one that has all the things on my list.
But I finally did it.
Yes, yes, yes! Thank you!
If you are looking for one as well,
Look no further.
Here's a really good one.
Just use mine.
Use mine.
I'm very satisfied.
Definitely recommend.
Problem gone.
thank you. I've had this problem.
Big problem.
I really needed.
A good videographer.
And I kept searching.
And searching.
There are so many choices.
It's really hard to find one that has all the things on my list.
But I finally did it.
Yes, yes, yes! Thank you!
If you are looking for one as well,
Look no further.
Here's a really good one.
Just use mine.
You're watching the People's Television, ABC Amber TV, the voice of Ambazonia. Stay tuned. You're watching the People's Television, ABC Amber TV, the voice of Ambazonia. Stay tuned. You're watching the People's Television, ABC Amber TV, the voice of Ambazonia. Stay tuned. You're watching the People's Television, ABC Amber TV, the voice of Ambazonia. Stay tuned.
Welcome back, fellow Ambazonians. Thanks for joining. Keep sharing, continue to share as you join. Invite friends, family, and everybody, any Ambazonia well wishers, and all Ambazonians across the world. You are welcome once again. Welcome once again. As we prepare and get ready to listen to President Samuel Sako Ikome this evening, I would like to invite on set with me Paddy King. Comrade Paddy, you are welcome.
Hi, Krista. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Thanks for having me on your program. Fellow Amazonians, ladies and gentlemen, it is exactly 23 minutes after 8 p.m. Amber time, and the entire nation of Amazonia, home and abroad, is anticipating what the president will be saying to the nation at this critical time. A time when we are fighting three enemies. We're fighting the Republic of Cameroon, we're fighting his enablers from within, and we are fighting the media, we're fighting insiders. I would say the worst enemies to fight at this time should be what you don't even know that could be very close at your side. At this time, there is chaos on the ground. We've received information that our people are kind of confused as to what is happening, and we need some focus. What will the president be telling the nation of Ambazonia this night is a major concern, and I look forward to that. I understand that some members of the defunct Restoration Council grouped themselves after a series of late night meetings and arrogated powers to themselves with the fact that they thought they could impeach the president. So they made an attempt, but they are creating confusion on the social media for those who are not properly informed that the nation of Ambazonia is a nation of law, and that we have a constitution, and that we have a president that is quite focused. So today we are expecting that we should be getting some focus from the president, the way forward, and how can we enact our laws and our constitution to halt some of the evil mechanization of these renegades. Clister.
Yeah, thank you for bringing all that up, especially the fact that some people on ground are particularly confused about what is happening within the interim government. And we should also be aware that this is not a new trend. It's not a new trend, it's not a new happening within our midst. This has been going on in different capacities over the years. And what I would say to encourage our people on ground zero who are confused is that if you are focused, like President Samuel Sako, and you watch the information that comes to you through this medium, through ABC Amber TV, the state TV, then you will not be in the position to be confused. But if you are looking to other private media platforms for your information, then you will be very confused. And no one say don't, but make sure you are focused on the course. And what is our objective? Most of the time, I said last time I was here that when you listen to somebody, how does it make you feel about the Ambazonian struggle? Then you should know what you know from that inspiration. If somebody talk to you about the Amazonian course, how does it make you? Does it inspire you? Does it motivate you? Does it enlighten you? Does it educate you, or it depletes you? If anybody is talking about Amazonia and you feel depleted, you feel discouraged, you feel disheartened, you feel like the war is not going any forward, if you feel all of that, know that is a total distraction, and is from, like, it can only be from a La Republique agents, whether it's a with knowingly or unknowingly. So some people, some Amazonians have taken the image and the picture and the form of the enemy. And when somebody comes in the form of the enemy, I don't care whether you are my brother or you are who, you will be dealt with like the enemy. So the only way you not put yourself in a position to be treated like the enemy is not to take the form or do the activities of the enemy. So those on ground zero, we are encouraging you as we look forward to listen to the president, like Comrade Paddy said, that we need some focus. We need to refocus. Somebody sent a question: is have the struggle stopped? That was the question I received. And I was like, no, the struggle have not stopped. The struggle is going forward. It did not start today. It started a while ago, and we are at the position where we are almost close to the finish line, and we should remain motivated. We should remain encouraged. And that's why we come here every now and then, and the president is making frequent addresses to tell you that he is well focused, he is strong, he is looking ahead, and he's exploring every opportunity and every options to see that the territory of Amazonia is totally and completely liberated from the hands of La Republique. And yes, the internal enemies are always going to be there. But one of the things I would also like the president to, anticipate him to address is how he plans to manage the potential rise, because I don't believe this is the end of it, of internal distractions or this type of disloyal set of people and betraying tendencies that we have seen in recent times. Paddy, over to you.
Thank you very much, Lady Casey. You've said some very instrumental things, which I think is a good food for thought. And firstly, you made us to understand that we as individuals have the leverage to make a determination as to what to listen to, who to listen to. It is easy. You just need to get. I told you, just get 3 videos. A lot of people are not coherent, and this is the only platform where you get factual information. We have purported journalists who have make a mockery of themselves for about 3 months, talking things that have no facts. It is unfortunate that you come on your own television, you tell the people, I no, this and I did this, and a few days later on, you come back to tell the same people, after all, I have no evidence. So, what was your objective? How can you present yourself an investigative journalist and then you make statements that are unfounded? It is unfortunate. So, Amazonians, be smart. Do not make yourself vulnerable. You have to choose what information you have to consume. Do not take any garbage from the gutters and consume, because it can deter you away from the focus. The next very vital thing is, what is the way forward? We need to consider the objective. Where did we start? Where are we coming from? Where are we? And where are we going to? Now, as to where we are for the past 5 years, we have been talking Ambazonia must be free. I am asking us to step up the game today. We will not just be talking Ambazonia must be free. We're gonna I'll be watching the Facebook chats or comments. I want everybody on a hashtag watching us live right now to say Ambazonia is free. That is stepping up the game. Because why do I say this audaciously that Ambazonia is free? We have successfully emancipated the minds of those who never believed. A lot of people, like myself, some 10 years ago, some 8 years ago, I never believed that the people of the former British Southern Cameroons could start thinking that they can own their own country. Because why? We were subjected, we were maimed, we were refused of everything that belonged to us. We knew that we were second class citizens, and some of us were comfortable with that situation. But now, Amazonia has not only gotten to that point where we have our babies now singing our national anthem, we are at a place where we just know that we can also defend a well-trained army that is receiving sponsorship from even the United States, from China, from lots of nations in the world, an army that has a quarterly budget of about 250 million US dollars. And Amazonia is barely raising $2 million or $3 million yearly to fund self-defense. But we are like the David before the Goliath, and we are beating the oppressor in the middle of the stage on his own game. So we can proudly and boldly tell the world Ambazonia is free. So hashtag Ambazonia is free. On that note, I want to ask us to get to this break. We have a very inspiring message. I'm sure some of you have already listened to it from the social media. A very, very inspiring message coming in from Gabonese, the spokesman the spokesman of the Ambazonian Restoration Forces in Ground Zero. I'd like to tell you, Gabonese is not just one of those graduates taking the responsibility to defend homeland. There are hundreds in the thick equatorial forest defending our homeland. And all you have to do right now is to promote this link and make sure many more people listen to the president and get more focused. All you have to do in the comfort of your diaspora is to contribute the very basic to make sure that these boys on the ground can get some sustenance. So let's watch and listen to the message that was coming in from Ground Zero early this morning. If the audio from Gabonese
Anyway,
is
Comrade
ready,
Paddy, why we wait to
go ahead,
listen?
please. You want to say something?
Yes, while we wait to listen to that message that what came from Ground Zero today, very inspiring. Amazonians, you must listen to it over and over. And like I said, when somebody speaks to you about the struggle, what do you hear? What is the energy, the emotion that they are communicating, the vibrations that come to you? You need to be very sensitive, because we know that La Republique consistently over time have been using our own people against our plight, against our freedom, against our liberation. So we should be very sensitive. I'm suspicious of almost everyone. That's how we should be. If your message, if you're not consistent with your message, today you cannot say this and that, the next day you say another thing. No, we have to stay consistent on the course. And Pade, you mentioned about the way forward. The way forward, and that's one thing that I will encourage everybody to join the town hall tomorrow with the president, because that's where certain details are discussed of the way forward with the interim government. I know many on ground zero are not able to join because Zoom actually consume quite a lot of data. Um, but if you are able to join the Zoom meeting with the president, please make sure you do, because now we are preparing for ASSC. So the president, as I know, is very focused, is so focused. He's planning on ground zero, which is why the lava storm project is going on, because ground zero, no matter what is happening, ground zero is the main priority. And at the same time, we need to organize ourselves, we need to reorganize ourselves, we need to also synchronize our efforts, give assessment to ourselves. What have we done for the past 2 3 years? How far have we come? What do we need to do better? Do some kind of a SWOT analysis, as the big book people will call it. So that's why there's ASSC to Washington that is coming up. So all Ambazonians are invited. All Ambazonians are invited so that we can chart the next stage of the struggle. And as much as we are focused on ASSC2, also the president is ensuring that anybody who is capable of participating in Lava Storm also make their contribution. And many people have done so far, and I'm sure we are at about 65,000 at the moment. So we need to get it to 100 before ASSC2. So let's keep putting in our contributions as we move forward. So that is what focus means. That's what focus, that despite the internal distraction, despite the gross betrayal by trusted confidants of the president, he has not shake one day. He has not wake
He
up
has not
and feel
relented.
sad. So yes, we should stay focused. Is the video ready?
Yeah,
We should.
we have not related, like you said, Lady Casey.
Mhm.
Focus means we keep pressing on. We keep pressing on.
Yes,
We could be in turbulent waters. We could be faced with internal betrayal, backstabbing, evil, mechanization, manipulation, vilification from those whom we have entrusted so much. But
absolutely.
focus actually means we keep pressing and pressing. Lady Casey, did I tell you that you look stunning this evening?
Thank you very much, and you too.
Okay, with that, let us watch the break from Gabonese.
Thank you.
Yeah, I want to greet all on a good day, fellow Ambazonians. All our restoration forces for all the 13 counties, all money cafe they up. They come this today, the 15th of February 2022. Today, Nami, the spokesman, Gabonese for ARF for all the 13 counties, ground zero. They come together for can tell Ambazonians, say I don't receive more than 50 questions from our civilians where they around me. I don't receive 2 important questions. The first question where I receive, they ask me if they don't watch for TV. Should they don't impeach President Sako? I ask them which television they say for ABS. Then I tell them, say if President Paul Biya today he resigned from power or they impeach Paul Biya, now which station he will report if it be genuine? They say na Cameroon National Television. That is French Cameroon National Television, which is CRTV. Then I tell them, say Southern Cameroon, Ambazonia get the ABC, the Ambazonian Broadcasting Corporation, will be controlled by the interim government as the leading body and institutions for free our people. So any message they receive for ABS will be an independent and private TV orchestrated by Chris Anu and the coup plotters and sponsored by France, and the agenda for keep on in slavery will be moot and void. That is French Cameroon sponsored television. I'll make a bit clear for them again. When they ask me, say, why the impeachment of former President Sako, it be walk, and then now Sako own in one for walk. Why? I tell you the reasons why the impeachment of President Sako and former President Sako, it be walk is because Sako was in prison. That's the reason that he was impeached, because prisoners cannot negotiate under a gunpoint. It was very important for the impeachment to take place because he was on a gunpoint in prisons. And if we're not listening very well, when Maurice came to go prisons for that 8 months, the French intelligence, they sent Maurice Kanto to prisons for go renegotiate with former President Sako on their so-called Federation Electoral for service of the problem. But after we try, with the help of Dickin Tassan Wilfred, I recall the father of the struggle for now, maybe travel through some light into darkness. Then from the realize, say it not be possible for impeach, it not be possible for Maurice Kamto for convince, as he don't succeed for convince Sako for organize a government, the government will be taken out of his hand. So they're not going to fit for that their plans. So finally, French President Emmanuel Macron, he be called Paul Biya Bilvondo Bartholomew for release Maurice Kamto of prisons. Because all those things that we sent for go for the mission, it have failed. Because Saudi Cameroons has impeached the former leader, President Seko Ayoktabe. So now, I want to elaborate. We get so many scenarios in the days of former President Cameroon. So we get our leaders. We get our former Prime Minister, who is of late, Ngomjoa, we get this Bayangi man, they call it Eti Egbe. He was a masterminder behind the coup where they will take out our former Prime Minister Ngomjoa. When the mobile police, it be Hona only button, it will defeat more than how many people. When Ngomjoa be see, say we need gun for gear for our police. It be order ammunition for come in for Southern Cameroons for give gun for our police. I usually be discovered with the help of this Eti Egbe, this Bayangi man. They hold those ammunition for the port of Douala. And then it be orchestrate a deal with ST Muna for Yaoundé with Ayijo. When the former Prime Minister Ngomjoa, if you want if you want come into Southern Cameroon, West Cameroon at that time, their parliament for Buya. For can read all those things about all those deals and which they go on, and which way the oppression on us by this criminal regime in Yaoundé led by Amadou Ahidjo. As he go for a house or go prepare those documents, for State House, sorry, it won't come in that same day where West Cameroon Parliament, the whole, Ahidjo came in with Foncha and gendarmes. That morning time for the parliamentary session, they gave us 10 gendarmes them. They go hold our former Prime Minister Ngomjoa, they seize the state car, seize the state key, the key, state key from him, and the state house key, and they be leave him in frustration. And then you come back for the West Cameroon Parliament, he can declare Muna like a Southern Cameroon, like the Prime Minister, which was wrong. Muna was not member of the West Cameroon National Assembly at that time. So there was some argument in the house. Muna, he gave a wrong go Yaoundé. He go make a plan with Eti Egbe and Ahidjo, they transfer Prime Minister launch the office to Yaoundé. So that's when they kill our government. Because France, they always use our own to bury us. But I want to make it clear. Say the same scenario where it happened today, where we see Secretary Chris Anu, he don't try for bring down Madame Airingwa, when Secretary for mobilization for finance in Ambazonia, he no fit. He transferred to President Sako Ekome. But the coup have failed. Like the same thing where they be destroy marketing board, destroy West Cameroon Bank, destroy our institutions. so that we no get money for finance ourselves, for stand as a state, as we stand under former Prime Minister of late Ngomjoa. So fellow Ambazonians, make we not blink, make we not wonder about confusions within the interim government. Those are French-sponsored agents to make sure that we don't negotiate like a country. So we should negotiate like Anglophones. But as we get the interim government, maybe led by Dr. Sako, we get the Southern Cameroon flag, we get the Southern Cameroon national anthem. We are going to Switzerland to negotiate as two separate states with two separate governments. What happened between Eti Egbe, Muna, Ahijo, to suppress and destroy the institution of Southern Cameroons and bring down our former Prime Minister Ngomjoa will not happen in our generation. So Southern Cameroonians, make all will focus and will rally behind President Sako Ekome. All of us, Ambazonia, Restoration Forces, will be behind our President Sako Ekome. Nothing more, nothing less. French Cameroon must come on the table. We negotiate as two equal. Nothing more, nothing less. Make we stay focused and make we no put our eye. We focus on ABS and those criminal televisions where they bring distraction inside Ambazonia. With the ARF for Ground Zero, we are stable and we are strong. We are going to Southern Cameroon free Ambazonia under President Sako Ekome. Nothing more, nothing less. May God bless Ambazonia.
We must negotiate as two equals. Ambazonians, ladies and gentlemen, for all of you watching in the diaspora, in Ground Zero, I want you to look at me and look at yourself maybe in the mirror. For some of you that were assuming that some people in the diaspora are manipulating boys on the ground. When you listen to that young gentleman, does he look like someone that can just be manipulated with any film of information? This is not a school dropout. This is a graduate. This is an educated person, has a very sound mind and clear understanding of the true history of the nation of Ambazonia. And he, after understanding it, has made a decision to stand for his people. And today, with that honesty and understanding, he is talking to some of us that should be in the comfort of our peace and wealth and riches in the diaspora to reason. This is a man who is facing the bullet. It's a man whom I would say has already given up his life, because as we are speaking, God forbid, we might be waking up tomorrow morning to hear that a stray bullet, or targeted bullet, had taken him. But he's ready. He could have gone to the diaspora like others, but he is staying on the ground to fight the war. Ask yourself, what are you doing? Your responsibility, is it to construct, fabricate falsehood against your brother or sister? For what gain? And that's why we think that you're a coup plotter. That is why we think Yaoundé should be sponsoring you, because nobody with a right thinking mind will do some of the things that you do. Ask yourself, are you putting the struggle forward? Are you trying to achieve a collective gain, or do you want to achieve self? These are the questions when you listen to people like Gabonese, you should honestly ask yourself. And if you do not have clear answers, then pause. Stop. Please stop.
Yes, and Paddy, let me just add to what you are saying. The questions we should have ask ourselves as reflections of some activities people are doing. And you also, you mentioned that what are you doing? Because what I wanted to say is the energy, the time some Ambazonians put in to fight another Ambazonia who is doing everything within their ability, within their power, to see that they kick the enemy La Republique in. It's baffling. It makes me, like you said, know that they are being sponsored by the enemy, La Republique. because there is no way I will spend such time, such energy to try to say some leadership should not exist or somebody should not be a leader because I don't like them or I don't like the way they operate or some flimsy reasons like they have been saying. They have asked, they had the opportunity. If they were not so consumed with evil, with wickedness and jealousy, in my personal view, they would have been able to notarize their complaints because no one is perfect. Nobody has refused any form of criticism. Put it plain and clear for Ambazonians to see. They will not just go on rants and fabricating falsehood and evidence for things that have no base just to get their point across. So that would justify anybody who will call such people an enemy agent or being sponsored by the enemy. So that's what I'm saying. That for Ambazonians, you can gather anywhere, anytime, but face the enemy La Republic, not another Ambazonia, not another Ambazonian. So we should stay
Yeah,
focused, and that's why we
yeah,
continue. Yes, carry on, Fadi.
and you realize that for political gain, political motivation, you have many who will rather destroy just so they can make some achievements. I've said this a couple of times on air, and I want to bring this to our remembrance so that it is our duty, Amazonians, to inform those who have been misinformed, disinformed, and who have been manipulated, who have made themselves vulnerable. It is our responsibility. So sometimes we might say some things and repeat them just so that you know who are these people from within. It has been stirred up from within by those who had political agenda. It started sometime last year when, and this is a constitutional crisis that Evis Kometa sparked up for
Yes.
his irrational declaration when he was during the inauguration of the president. And so some who have denied to learn, who were officials of government but didn't have a copy of the constitution, were anticipating election and positioning themselves, creating loyalties.
Hmm.
In the year where we have the biggest success, they want to present to you. They want you to think that there is no, in fact, we have achieved nothing. Ask them what did they achieve in their department. Yesterday night, I was going through the archives. We did some videos. I did a video documentary last year around the month of September. So I was going through to give to our producers so that we could play. And this documentary was a documentary of when the president took over office as acting president until now. And I realized that this individual had deleted all of that kind of video that had the archives. So you might not have it, but I'm doing a new one. You will have it one of these days. So I was talking to Comrade Oben and I gave him one of these videos. I went to the drives today. This particular video is found nowhere. This video had a summary. Some of you watched it last year. Nelly was doing the voiceover, giving to us stage after stage. And I want to remind you of some of these things. When the president took over office, self-defense was not common in Ambazonia. Forget about in 1994, we had from Gojidika suggested self-defense. Now, when the struggle started, you had the Akwangas, the Ayabacho were still living in the illusion that they were the fathers of self-defense, but that was not true. For those who have not read history, you want to assume, like some would say, the Sikh at the time was the man of the self-defense. So it was all about blah, blah, blah. But in 2018, when the president came, like never before, he did not just give empty words. His mobilization of funds, his strategy to bring together independent self-defense officials was exceptional. And this, we have a collection of it. And when that happened, the game on the ground changed. There were some challenges, and we're making progress. There have been some challenges. And then we move on. By last year, September, when I was doing that documentary, we have not achieved 50% of what we've achieved today. And then you have people, if you are a communicator, you should have these basic facts. It does not even make logic for anyone to have written a memorandum, epistle to a cabinet to tell them that we are exhausted. Why don't you say, I'm tired, I want to go rest? So the
Absolutely.
reasons after reasons, failed reasons, and confusionist in your own blah blah confusion, you want to confuse the entire nation.
And
Betrayed a
Fadi,
platform. Prior to
let
this
me just
time, you never had a
let me just
platform. Let me just finish
yeah.
this. Prior to this
Mhm.
time, you have been a journalist for many years, but you never had a platform. Ambazonia gave you the platform, and you betrayed it. Go ahead, Clifton.
Yes, thank you. I just wanted to say that a lot of what is happening is people portraying their what I call surrender attitude onto others. So when they have surrendered, they think they want to blame others for surrendering. When they are giving up, they want to blame others for giving up. When they are insecure in their positions, they want to blame other people for their insecurities. That's basically the confusion upon confusion. It's not coming from a place of any honest person with integrity. It's coming from somebody who realized that they are, like you said, they are tired. You should not be saying we. If you are tired, you are tired. You should, if you are in a position and you're not willing or ready to evolve with the necessary demands in that capacity, and you think it's beyond you, or you feel exhausted, or you have other priorities, this struggle has to move on. So you step aside. A lot of people have done that, and nothing has happened to them. The struggle has moved on, and the righteous few, I don't know where the president got that inspiration to write that book. The righteous few will
You,
rise and be
Lady
arrested.
Casey. I want to tell some of you, just put the hashtag as the president is coming. Keep populating the platforms. Put the hashtag Ambazonia is free. Now, the foolishness in this so-called memorandum, Lady Casey, that his friends do not seem to see, is that he said something. This cabinet is exhausted. How can you be talking for others? Why don't you say I am exhausted, and you say this cabinet is exhausted? Now trying to inject into the spirit of everybody and trying to partner with some. And we understand now that he had some partners within the cabinet, and then they thought he was the mighty man and he could be the one to make such a silly statement. This cabinet is exhausted. How dare you? You were exhausted. You were compromised. Why don't you walk your way out? And you want to evangelize people into your whatever scheme, misunderstanding, whatever. It's quite unfortunate. In a few minutes, we're going to be having the president coming up, and I want you to populate the platforms because I am confident I have followed the president for some time. And I'm not during such times when everybody's confused and everybody's thinking, what do we do? How do we go? The president is always calm, smiling, and he comes tonight to talk to us with his subtle tone, as always, to give us a way forward, to tell you you should not be moved by flimsy words from poor thinkers, ill advised individuals, men in suits you expect that should have been educated to understand basic laws. Or our interim constitution was written in simple English. It baffles me how some people really did not even understand anything about it. Or perhaps it was not just ignorance, it was arrogance. Lady Casey, please.
Yeah, talking about people not understanding the simple laws, and that is one thing we should study and learn in Ambazonia. Let's learn to work in principle. Let's learn to work as a team, and everybody does not have to fit your ideals or your idea of how things should work or operate before you can work a partner with them. Our objective should be our reason for partnership, for working together. That should be the core. It's not whether I like you or I don't like you. It's not whether you look or sound or talk the way I should, that I think somebody should talk, that I would know. It's your contribution to the goal. It's your contribution to the objective. It's your participation into the objective. That should be our base for relating. That's our base for comradeship. That's our shape for brother and sisterhood in this struggle, in this revolution, as we face the enemy daily. daily as we face the enemy from every
Yes,
angle
Lady
and
Casey, I'm
perspective.
sorry. I'm sorry for cutting you short. I've just received
Yeah.
indication from the State House that the president
Mm-hmm.
is back the stage, waiting to address the nation of Ambazonia. I'm asking you all
Okay.
why we sit back to enjoy the president. He might be talking for quite a while. You can get for yourself a cup of coffee, some water, some tea, whatever makes you comfortable. Those watching in Ground Zero, and keep sharing on Facebook, on our social media platform. For all the club members in the diaspora, you're going to have this speech of the president being rebroadcast on our website. You know, as a member or clubship member of our website, www.abcambertv.com, that you can now enjoy our production 24/7 anywhere in the world. We are streaming globally and nobody can stop us. I hear some are coming after the TV. We are waiting. That being said, we will be transitioning into the State House of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia to listen to the president. Stay tuned.
We'll be
After
right back.
this, Krista and I will be right back.
Fellow Ambazonians, this is a very trying moment in our God-ordained struggle, but remember, I promise not to fail you. But the enemy is working overtime to recruit amongst those who are willing to help them for the price of our blood. This strategy of recruiting our own to destroy us did not begin today. It has always worked for them, and it is difficult for any lion to ignore a willing prey when it is hungry. Some of us are now players in the enemy's team, such that it is the enemy that is now applauding for our actions. No one has cursed us to perish in perpetual servitude under La République, and it is not rocket science to understand that each time you hear enemy applause, even if you were blind or absent, you know the goal is against our side. What is going on now is deja vu. Honorable Augustine Gomjoa saw it firsthand. Dr. Jongu Foncha suffered the same from the likes of S.T. Muna when he attempted to engineer a redemptive work out of this error, confronting Ahijo for the fraud. Many of our nationalist leaders past were betrayed and killed with the complicity of their trusted comrades. We are our worst enemy to our own freedom. Generations will curse our generation if we fail in this existential assignment. And subsequent generations of Ambazonians will never find a place in their hearts to forgive us all, especially those who are laboring knowingly or unknowingly to squander our lifetime chances of victory. I think the month of February will be remembered as an accursed month in Ambazonia in our liberation history. Remember, in 2019, it was in the month of February, a similar problem as we have today was generated by some of our compatriots. A group calling itself the Upper House of Parliament of Ambazonia forged a mountain of unfounded allegations against yours truly, the president. The group was principally made up of country and regional coordinators who assigned to themselves the unconstitutional authority of kingmakers of Ambazonia. They manipulated their way with the help of some of our dishonest comrades in jail to organize a coup d'etat in the form of a certain constituent assembly they called the APNC, just to oust the president. The then acting chairman of the Restoration Council, Mr. Kometa, was the focal point of the coup plotters. They levied a farrago of accusations on my person and removed me purportedly from office. If you have difficulties remembering these details, it is maybe because that coup failed woefully. The people arose in their sovereignty just weeks after that revolutionary buffoonery ended in Philadelphia. They rallied in Berlin in April for the ASSC won and decided the fate of Ambazonia, established the APP as our revolutionary model, and gave the acting president the mandate that forever changed the trajectory and outcome of our struggle. This time again, it is February, and we are witnessing the same scenario with very similar actors. Remember that by October 2021, we were basking in the glory of our most successful year in the history of our struggle, when another APNC was hatched, masterminded by a whining Secretary of State for Communication, a reticent Vice President, a very bitter acting chair of the Restoration Council, and some La Republique insider traders within the central government apparatus. Only that this time, Mr. Kometa offered them his office as a cloak of legitimacy to whitewash the coup d'etat as a genuine constitutional change. They rallied a handful of disgruntled patriots and some one Cameroon Ambazonians for this theater. The mission was clear: remove Dr. Sako from office at all costs, whether via illegal elections or through any cock and bull allegation. They recruited every trash man in the city to dump their trash on Dr. Sako and either disqualify him from winning an unconstitutional election, the committee mandated elections, or impeach him without hearing and replace him with a Yaoundé favorite. Their assignment was to dump any trash on Dr. Sako before their House of Inquisition, also known as the Government Affairs Committee of the Restoration Council. This small cabal of power mongers within the Restoration Council despise our constitution. They abhor our laws. They have a disdain for me as a person, and they care less whether the struggle is progressing or dying, provided Sako is deposed. Yes, here comes another Black February, APNC moment, another poorly executed hit job by anti-revolutionaries, making our enemies to openly celebrate for the 18th time the imaginary removal of their nightmare from the hand. But thank God for our next ASSC2, beginning from March 10th to the 13th, 2022. We, the people of the 13 counties and 61 LGAs at the ASSC, are going to come together to address our issues, to chart our future, our endeavor, like in Berlin. We shall restore in Washington whatsoever Comita's APNC2 has destroyed again. This failed APNC2 shall mark the end of all the errors we have made or allowed in the past. We shall check the channels of infiltration. We shall banish treachery and betrayal. We shall be in the dawn of a new era of ruthless aggression on ground zero against all enemies of our quest, internal and external. It will be time to re-strategize on how to finish the unfinished task of taking our country back in record time. Dear Ambazonians, what do we really want to achieve? Do you want us to end this struggle prematurely? Do you think failure is an option? Do you want to help our enemy not to come to the table? Do you want to cause many to lay down their tools? Or do you want us to tread in vain on the graves of our 35,000 missing? Your yes or no to this question do not matter. Your actions tell us what you really want. I see some of us desperately turning our guns against the IG or enjoying the ongoing baseless assault on the IG, the only dog still in the fight for our liberation. Imagine, why will any true Ambazonian go as far as attempting to incriminate an innocent, hardworking Southern Cameroonian businessman in Germany, in Belgium, by going into his website, download his documents, and mutilate them to fabricate evidence of crimes they cannot report officially to the appropriate authorities for investigation? Who reports a crime by committing a real crime? My dear patriots of the never again generation, let me be frank with you. We must decide to put an end to such intentional insanity of purposefully destroying those who are paying the price for our redemption. Killing the livelihood of an industrious Southern Cameroonian we are called rather to defend is an aberration. We must decide to rise above the politics of self-hate and destruction. We must kill this tribal virus in our politics. We must stop this self-destruction on social media. We must be wise enough to ensure our actions are not in compliance with enemy prescription or expectation towards the final resolution of our cause. We must learn all the lessons taught to us by yesterday's failures, today's challenges, and tomorrow's predictions. The so-called removal of Dr. Sako from office is a high-sounding joke, masterminded by the enemy side. It is another attempt to fracture our war machine with frivolous allegations, unsubstantiated accusations. But shockingly, some of us are very thrilled, excited by such toggery. Surprisingly, many of the manipulators They say they are fighting me and the IG because our people are dying. Yes, that is the cheapest slogan now on every lip. Our people are dying. How do you want us to believe that you care for the dying if you cannot hold coup plotters, liars and spoilers to show evidence of their allegations that they are spewing out there to justify their rogue actions and decisions undermining our struggle? How can we believe? You sing our people are dying, but you are telling our people not to draft, manipulating our ARFs with lies, but you say our people are dying. Ambazonians, what do you want? Why are we still in this fight? This is not about me. It is about what we want to achieve as a collective. Are you trying to take power from the Republic or from Ambazonia? Where is the power you are fighting for? And who has the power we are looking for? Do you want to tolerate liars and accommodate empty talkers? Or you want to encourage the doers in our revolution? Were we not working hard before the coup plotters came up to interrupt our progress? Do you want social media entertainment or decisive action that will unseat the enemy in Ambazonia? Do you want to settle scores with brothers and sisters in your local government or county? Or you want to take on our common enemy, La République du Cameroon? As a student of literature, I can tell you that there are more critics than there are authors. But Ambazonians, if you are holding me to a certain standard, please hold all who want to lead to the same standard. If some decide to form any group or government, they may go ahead. But Ambazonians know what they want. You know what they want? However, we must hold them to the same pedestal. Put up your own structures, raise your own money, take care of ground zero, take care of the prisoners, the refugees, make inroads in diplomacy. Talk is cheaper than work. After all, if you are truly a star, you don't need to quench another star for your light to shine. Just go ahead and shine. The message I bring to you today as the chief executive of the Ambazonian interim government is that nothing has changed. I'm here to stay as long as God has given me breath, as long as the stakeholders say yes. Even a duly constituted restoration council has no constitutional powers to initiate the removal of the president. Read your constitution. The former was never removed by the Restoration Council. He removed himself when he created a parallel government in jail. So don't compare two things. Impeachment is not synonymous to removal. It is a trial. Nobody has tried me, not even in a kangaroo court. Those who make laws should of necessity be law-abiding. Some of us may just be tired, disgruntled, uncontrollably angry, and decide to drop the ball. It is part of our human weaknesses. Notwithstanding, I know those who are still holding the plow, they are more determined than ever to cross the finish line. Just a few examples. While coup plotters were busy strategizing on how to overthrow me, our Department of HSS, under the my watch and under the eyes of our able Dr. Tita, they achieved their 501c3 status as a non-for-profit organization in the United States to help the needy amongst us. Thank you, Dr. Tita. Thank you, Dr. Yaya of the HSS, for your leadership. 2 days ago, I also held a meeting with the board of directors of our National Treasury serving the central government, the 13 counties of Ambazonia, and the 61 local government of Ambazonia. They reassured me that your money is safe and that government business is going on as usual. You can access your money through lay down regular procedure. Our routine end of year audit is also ongoing. The Ambazonia Treasury is a registered corporation, not a political playfield. Let no hired demagogue tell you our accounts have been frozen. Anyone who attempts a baseless sabotage against a registered Section 501c3 organization in America shall face the law and the board of directors. Please continue to redeem your draft, your CID, your ABC membership dues, and your donations to your national treasury. My fellow ARFs, as a father, I am reaching out to you all on ground zero, not for any political calculation as the manner of some is, but to advise you to remain focused during all this confusion stirred up by coup plotters in the diaspora. We know what you need, and you know what we expect from you. This IG, your county, your local government, under my command, is a kitchen. It is not a restaurant. Stay with us, and you will not be alone. There have been some insignificant disagreements amplified on social media between some of our respected warriors. But we are working hard to ensure that our fighters remain professional, focused, and vigilant. While we're busy raising money, real money in lavatory and the ANSC to respond to your needs, a bunch of coup plotters were targeting you with cheap lies and deception to take you away from this interim government, away from your county or your local government. Be wary of hitchhikers if you are in your private car. This IG is your private car, my dear ARFs. Every general should join the ARF leadership on ground zero and keep in touch with the genuine leaders of your IG, your county and local government. Also, your ABC is waxing stronger and stronger with the news division now back. Even though Mr. Chris Anu secretly sold our brand new ABC console to his privately owned for-profit TV and kept the proceeds, ABC has survived and we are waxing even stronger. He kept the money, about $2,500. He paid himself, which he says is part of the money we owe him for his salary he determined for himself. That is the new anti-revolutionary television that calls out people who will never steal a console, scammer. Please, our new ABC website is also running now, and registration to the club is skyrocketing. Please visit our website. The law-abiding members of the Genuine Restoration Council, who were chosen as bona fide representatives by LGA constituents, the real stakeholders managing this struggle, are now consulting with their constituencies and preparing to join us at the ASSC2. A steering committee for the Restoration Council reforms has been established. It is chaired by the no-nonsense Secretary General of the defunct Restoration Council, Dr. Winnie Lubati. The chairlady will be needing more hands on deck in the days ahead to propose groundbreaking reforms at the ASSC to transform the Restoration Council from a house of shame to a place of reference. Ambazonians, fellow compatriots, I'm here today to tell you that the world has heard you. I have heard you, not once, not twice, and certainly not for the last time. We heard you loud and clear in your rejection of illegality, in your rejection of fraud, rejection of blackmail, your rejection of hatred, rejection of falsehood, rejection of power mongers. Each time the enemy of Ambazonia have tested your determination on this mission, my people, you have responded with clarity and authority. You have announced the world that our country shall never be a jungle of lawless instincts. You have informed the international community again that Ambazonia is not for sale to the highest bidder. You have affirmed to everyone that the destiny of our great nation shall not be gambled under no circumstances, and the message was resounding. Thank you, Ambazonia. Thank you, fellow Southern Cameroonians. My people, I want to make it emphatically clear to everyone that all the departments and operations of your interim government of Ambazonia, under my humble leadership, are unaffected by the so-called impeachment joke of the shenanigans. We are moving forward unperturbed and without compromise. As proof of our ongoing vast operations, the Home Affairs, the Treasury, the National TV, ABC, Amber TV, the HSS, the DSS are all mobilized and geared towards providing the crucial resources required to accomplish our national strategic security plan. Yes, my country people them. All my country people them for Menchum, I hear una. My people them from Dian, una voice is loud plenty. Momo, una be the people where una people for decision, I hear una. Bui, I hear una clear. Boyo, una stand firm. Meme, una talk like one man. Fako, una make me proud. Ngoke Tunja, una talk am right in front of the front seat. And Donga Manto, I trust una pledge. Mezam, una don't raise with flag right for up, the flag for this IG. Kupe manenguba, una know the fear face. Lebi alem, una miss, una no fi miss road. I don't hear una clear. See you all in Washington. Let's do it again. Let's chart our way forward together as one man. Long live the Federal Republic of Ambazonia, and short live the struggle. Thank you.
This problem.
Big problem.
I really needed
A good videographer.
And I kept searching.
and searching.
There are so many choices.
It's really hard to find one that has all the things on my list.
But I finally did it.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you.
If you were looking for one as well,
Look no further.
Here's a really good one.
Just use mine.
Use mine.
I'm very satisfied.
Definitely recommend.
Problem gone.
Thank you.
Wow, wow, wow. I told you that he is a focused president. He is the right man for the job, in spite of the distraction, in spite of the evil mechanization, in spite of the manipulation. The president is always focused. Klista, I know you
Oh,
enjoyed
yes,
it.
yes, yes. I'm telling you that if you were not inspired, motivated, refocused, redirected by that, then I don't know what else will be able to put you in that position, because the president address just put me in a very, very good mood to know that despite everything that is happening, he is focused on delivering the objective, the purpose, why this generation, this never again generation, is taking the enemy up front. And I'm telling you, buddy, I got so much from that. I am just diving straight into it because first thing, the person, I mean, he said so many things, but one of the things that caught my interest is he said, how can you try to prove a crime by committing
By
another crime?
committing another.
How can you? Because this is the most disheartening, one of the most disheartening thing that has
I
happened
wouldn't say
in recent times.
disheartening. It is the most stupid. Go ahead.
Okay, well, because how can you? That's why I said earlier before we listen to the president, that what the energy, why can we not put that energy to hack La Republic systems, to get into their security system so that we know what they are planning against Ambazonia and we prepare to defend ourselves against it? Why don't we put that effort to try and crash down CRTV? Why don't we make that energy to see that all their internal operating systems of La Republic will bring them down? But we are fabricating, making stories, attacking our own. That energy, we need it to be directed towards the enemy. And the president just put it in very few words, very technical few words, as intelligent and smart, concise, precise, composed as he is, as always is.
Always.
He just put the same thing I'm saying in very few words, that we should direct our energy towards the enemy. And yes, we must deliver our country. Paddy, over to you because I can go on and on
Now,
because
this is
trust me.
something that is very instrumental. After listening to the president today and considering the storm that we found ourselves, I would say the self-inflicted pain, the in-house creation of a problem, the illusion of an impeachment and a purported dismissal of the president from office, you can and boldly put this hashtag Ambazonia is free. I said, let us graduate from Ambazonia must be free. You know, when you say Ambazonia must be free, it's like you are still in a struggling stage. No, we have come to a phase with this kind of leadership. You do not need to say Ambazonia must be free because it's evident. No wonder there is a partnership with Yaoundé to bring him down. Because how on earth can a man be this focused? Sometimes I wonder. I am worried when you hear. Sometimes when you get them on the anti-revolutionary television talk or do their purported impeachment, you get people jittering from all around the world. Paddy, what is happening? Tell Mr. President this. And sometimes I tell some people, don't worry, we're on top of the game. I don't say so because I just want to console myself. I say so because I've been under the tutelage of a leadership that is focused, and that's what is required. A leadership that is sponsored, not necessarily with money. The money is available. The sponsors of the revolution, the financial gurus of this struggle, are not into dirty games. They are busy enhancing the institution. But I'm talking about a leadership that is sponsored by wisdom. Wisdom. Dr. Common Sense, the man who brings the wisdom down to earth, even to the understanding of our grandparents. I like you as I look on our chat forum. I'm asking you on Facebook, say Ambazonia is free. Let us get that statement viral. Ambazonia is free. We have a few more minutes to be with you. We might be taking in some of your calls for analysis, but this is what we want you to know. Ambazonia is free. We will decode the president's statement, get it digested into the systems. And the international community is watching us. Now we've created a platform for those in the diaspora, not just to be clinging to a YouTube or a Facebook channel. You now have our own 100% owned Ambazonia broadcasting live 24/7. This speech will be rebroadcast a couple of times to you, those who are at work right now not watching. It is very remarkable to know that the president at one time, at the peak of his statement tonight, was already hitting on Facebook alone. The president was hitting about 1,200 views. On YouTube, you had a crowd of people watching. These are Ambazonians from home and abroad standing and supporting their president. The messages we were receiving on Facebook were quite encouraging. And Ambazonians are telling the world today, we are smarter than just the poor calculation. We are smarter than the coup plotters. We are smarter than Yaoundé. Whatever button they are pressing is a waste of time, because our generation, the never again generation, will never fall victim for an Anumuna scam.
Oh, yes, Paddy. That's absolutely correct. Because I was following the comments as well, and Ambazonians were buzzing, and that is the energy we need. We need to inspire each other. We need to be able to motivate each other, because the challenges every day is 5 years ongoing. And we need a moment to strengthen ourselves, to inspire each other, to motivate each other. And that is what I was feeling, and was that's the energy I was getting from the comment section as the president was talking today. I mean, the president really hit on, like you said, break the message down, addressing every single aspect of the current events in the struggle. Also encourage, that's something amazing about the president, because as somebody who have had a lot of insight into the actions and activity of the restoration fighters from the onset, I will tell you that the president have the most generous mind towards our restoration fighters. He is not looking to own anybody. He is not asking you to be loyal to him, but be loyal to the flag, to the institution, to the anthem. He's not telling you come and endorse or non-endorsement. No, he's telling you that be focused on the cause. Don't allow yourself, because from I can go on and start giving you statistics and name from Commander Lake to whoever, that because of their distractions, because they start following individuals, because they became disorganized, and it led to their death. And we don't want to hear those stories anymore. I don't want to be in the position to write RIP to any fighter, that especially the one that was set up because they were following an instruction of an individual, not their county security personnel. So it is important, and I'm so pleased that the president took out time, and I really wish he would be able to do more of this, talking to the people on ground zero and to our restoration fighters, encourage them to stay focused. Not for you to come and endorse him and may say he's the leader. No, for you to stay focused, put yourself in a position and don't fight with your fellow comrades, your fellow restoration fighters. And I'm pleased our president addressed that conflict we have been hearing, people throwing statements here and there on social media. And I'm particularly, Paddy, really, really pleased with that the president talk about that.
Yeah, it is always important like this to have a jamboree and excitement with the love signs. Please keep giving us the love sign. Monday was Valentine's Day. All the lovers of ABC Amber TV, you are our Valentine. We love you. Keep giving to us those love. I am enjoying it. I am actually excited about it. It's always important when people thought that they could use media presence as a scam to derail Ambazonians, to tell the world that our president is not popular. And you saw Ambazonians coming tonight to disprove them in their numbers, in their hundreds and in thousands. We are still, after the president's address, we are still at 900 views. Please have like 30 minutes with you. We're going to take some questions. Put your concerns on the platform. Lady Casey, I love you. That is Jack Jordan. Okay. Many people love
Thank
Lady
you.
Casey. Nobody loves me. Uh, do you love me too, Jack
Don't be
Jordan?
jealous
Okay, Lady
before you
Casey.
start your own coup
Jack
against
Jordan
me.
says he loves you. Let us get your comments. We're going to read your beautiful comments. Wisdom Jerry is just sharing to us the love signs and the love is all over the Amazonians love. This love, you must be motivated by this love to put your hand. Okay, Funken Princess Paddy, I love you. Clutchy says, Paddy, we love you. I hope I didn't beg for this love. I hope it's coming from your heart. So, love, if you love me, just love our refugees, love our IDPs. Contact Dr. Tita this evening and make some donations so that our brothers and sisters in Nigeria, particularly, can have some food. If you love me and you love ABC Amber TV, visit our website www.abcambertv.com. Become a club member. Watch our programs live. Participate. We hope that by Easter, we're going to give some special gift to all the initial subscribers of our club from this page. We're going to activate or start the marketplace so Ambazonians can have their own marketplace where they can have made in Ambazonia goods and they will be transported to you. Ambazonia is making progress like never before. Some want to call us the www.bitcoinig.com. Please do not deny the name. What they don't know, they are telling you, is that they are living in yesterday and the interim government is living in today. There is no crime being a part of Bitcoin. It would have been a crime if state coffers were used by individuals to invest in Bitcoin. Even if the state chooses at a particular time to use Bitcoin as a medium for communication or transaction, it only tells you that we have visionary leadership. So have primitive
Absolutely.
individuals want to take a civilized procedure and to make a laughter of themselves, not us. We are
Absolutely.
living in today and they are living in yesterday. Yes, Krista.
Oh, yes, buddy. They are actually demonstrating their level of ignorance to the reality. Ambazonia interim government is current because that is the future, and we are already operating in events and how transactions will be carried out in the nearest future. So, if anybody is still holding on to the past, we are marching on because Boya is ahead until we are finally there. And Paddy, there's just so much, and I want to also bring out some points from what the president said. He mentioned, excuse me, he addressed a lot of stuff in in his address. And one of the things he said, which I'm really passionate, because I've seen some comrades, even those who are standing, who understand that the institution is not the individuals in it, it's the institution and the law of Ambazonia that we are respecting. So he mentioned that we should kill the tribal, what is it, the tribal virus in us. I am not going to be supporting or working or choose to collaborate with somebody because they are from my tribe, or because we went to the same secondary school, or because we have any kind of prior relationship, or we've made any form of relationship during the struggle. That means when the president brought this point up, and I want to talk to Ambazonians, let's be principled, let's be objective focused, let's be focusing on the goal, let's work as a team. When they assign your duty and your role, please focus and do your role. Don't do your role because an individual is from your tribe, and don't accept responsibility and do it diligently because it's somebody from your clan. Oh no, we are not going to go anywhere if we choose to operate in that such myopic mindset where we are so orientated and only influenced by those from our tribe or by our
Yeah,
tribesmen. We should beyond this. And the president mentioned this in his speech. And
which
I'm
is
telling you,
disgraceful.
when you say a visionary leader, is almost like it doesn't encapsulate the real capacity and abilities of the president, because he is far more than that. He's intelligent, he's witty, his composure. I mean, I can talk about his composure from now till tomorrow, because to remain calm and stable and steady despite all the attacks. There was one post I saw on Facebook with 14 points written by it was signed by our Mandela on that post, and it was 14 points on why the interim government and its leadership cannot be destroyed. And these are 14 different attacks within, none was from La République, that have come against this interim government and its leadership since its inception. And it is appalling. It is sad to think that the highest form of challenge that this interim government have faced have not come from La République. Ground zero that are still confused. You should have a think. The highest form of attack consistently over a period of time that this interim government has faced hasn't come from La République. It has not come from the enemy that we set out to fight. It hasn't come from the enemy that we set out to take away from our territory, to push away and restore our dignity. That is appalling. So Ambazonians, let's remain focused. Let's stay focused. All our restoration fighters align with your LGAs and your counties. The president also decided to, mention all the different arms of government, all the different departments of the cabinet, all the different, functions, layers of the interim government, and your LGA and the county are your first point of contact. But as the president is going on, having this town hall to talk to us every Thursday, which I think is so amazing. Thank goodness we are in this position where we can come and
very instrumental about it is the way the president gave it, recognizing the efforts of those who have been very focused. Our able press secretary, Lady Casey, doing her job like no other. She is keen, putting us on focus. That is the cueing us in to the language and energy of the president tonight. Let us stay focused. And as we stay focused and we're enjoying this ambience, we are going to come back to take some of your questions. But as we do that, I want us to have this music break. And I want you to dance as you listen to this. We'll be right back after the break.
Chosen generation, we've been called for to show His excellence. Hey, all I require for life, God has given me, and I know who I am. We are a chosen generation, we've been called for to show His excellence. All I require for life, God has given me, for I know who I am. What He says I am, where He says I'm at, I know who I am. I know who God says I am. What He says I am, where He says I'm at, I know who I am. I'm working in power, I work in miracles, I live a life of favor. Chosen generation, we've been called for to show His excellence. Yeah. All I require for life, God has given me, and I know who I am. We are a chosen generation. We've been called for to show His excellence. All I require for life, God has given me. I know who God says I am. What He says I am.
I'm walking in power. I'm walking miracles. I live a life of victory. I know who I am. Amazonians, you are amazing. Keep giving to us the love, the love, the love, the love, the love signs there. We have a few more minutes to be with you. Church and politics will be coming up with Pastor Commando on top of the hour, and he will be crowning it all with his political and spiritual analysis of what has happened tonight. Tonight is quite instrumental. The peoples of Ambazonia needed such a time to be injected and be inspired with so much faith-filled words from their commander-in-chief, the chief executive officer, the president who is unshakable for the nation of Amazonia. Klista, did you enjoy the music?
Oh yes, that was. I certainly know who I am. I know that there is no thing under the earth, above the earth, beneath the earth, wherever that can distract me for the focus and the objective of Ambazonia. And I have said this several times, and I keep saying it. And that should be our focus. So anything and any distraction that can come in any form, like I mentioned earlier, if you are my brother and you come in the form of the enemy, you will be dealt with accordingly. So let's carry on. Paddy, thank you.
Yes, it's important that we realize, like you said, moments like this are important because how did we start the fight? Look at Ambazonia. We are just about 20% of the two Cameroons put together. When when our independence was stolen from us in 1961, our nation was invaded by Ayejo's military, I would say his gendarmes. Our police mobile wing was destroyed. We were disarmed. And unarmed people, we still had the British culture, what we inherited from our colonial masters. And we thought that dialogue, civil discussion could take us to our promised land. But it failed us over and over again. We were being maimed, oppressed, brutalized, beaten. I grew up seeing my elder brothers and siblings. There's what Kale Kale, there was oppression. In the Cameroons, as you were growing up as a kid, an eye or sight of a police was like we lived in a war. Ambazonia, we were born in a war situation. We were born in a militarized homeland. Mr. Biya came and all his strategy was to militarize our nation. They disarmed our people and militarized our nation. But it came at a time our generation said never again. And we, with our bare hands, our brothers in the forest took up sticks. They used sticks, then guns, knives, and confronted the enemy. And today, they have been highly mechanized, and there is no stopping them. So moments like
Oh yes.
this, when renegades, coup plotters, backstabbers, enablers, those who are remote control from Yaoundé want to distract us from the fight. It is nights like this is quite important to listen to the president that will come back to inject into our spirit some hope again so that we can fight and fight and fight like never before until Amazonia is free. Krista, please.
Absolutely, absolutely. You have just summed it all. And I love the vivid description of where we started and where we are that you have just given. And that is what should inspire all of us. That's what should tell us that we are moving forward and upward, because Ambazonia, we are not where we started from. We are not where we were 2 years ago. We are moving ahead, and our restoration fighters are getting more sophisticated and complicated these days. Because look at, a lot of people, who are the people that will say they are for you, and all they say about you is your failures, is your weaknesses, is what did not work for you? How can that person be for you? How can that person be for you? At all they do, they never tell you. They have never come with a strategy. They have never come up with any advice. They have never come up with any idea that can be put on ground and get any result. They have never been in a position to implement a successful strategy, even when it was brought up by somebody else, and they want to come and tell you how it has failed. No. And why did I bring that up? Because if you look at the effort, despite the dense militarization of Sako during the AFCOM, our boys were still able to make headlines across the world. They were still able to change the news. They were still able to change the atmosphere of ACOM to suit Ambazonia, to tell Ambazonia's story, to bring attention. COVID came and took over attention from our story, from our struggle, from our plight. But what the restoration fighters did during ACOM is reinstate, restore that attention that we need on our cause. And some people want to say they failed despite everything. And that is to tell you that we are marching forward and we are moving ahead. And all those La Republic agents, whether they come in any form, that want to tell us that we are not making progress, that we are not moving forward, we know that is only the enemy that want to say those things to demoralize us, to distract us from the fact that even though we have made some mistakes, we are marching on, we are correcting ourselves, and that is why ASSC2, I say, is going to put us on the other side. That means it's going to change the speed for which we move ahead. Thank you, Paddy.
This is quite instrumental. After you have swindled, disappeared 135,000 US dollars that was meant to halt AFCON, you come on TV to try to sabotage or blame another. After you have never succeeded in anything, after you thought that a war is all about shouting on social media, you come to shift blames. What a disgrace. How do you wish to erase this from your generations to come? What will you tell your grandchildren you did during such a time? That you were given basic responsibility and you are a failure. Instead of being humble, you want to shift your blames to others. That is disgraceful. Aside from that, we believe, Ambazonians, we thought that we would have taken the questions from your president tonight. But the president is instructing us to tell you that the town hall tomorrow will be like never before. He's going to be laying out exceptional plans. And therefore, come ready with your questions and he will be taking them. We have just shared on this platform on Facebook the Zoom link for tomorrow's program. We'll be sending out a flyer and the Zoom link. Take it to every Ambazonian will be there, but we will not tolerate arrogance. Discipline is important when you're building a strong nation. It's not dictatorship. There is a difference between indecency and democracy. We don't want to allow low-minded people to infiltrate our system. You can be low-minded, but if you're humble, you can also step up. Ambazonia has passed the stage of the La Republic kind of education where anything is tolerated. We are civilized, a civilized generation, and we should be respectful, especially when we are before our leaders. So every Ambazonian is accepted to participate in tomorrow's town hall, but not low-mindedness will not be given the platform. That being said, I want to thank every Ambazonian for tuning in into this program. I know that the view on Facebook is still up. Ambazonians want to stay with us. They don't want to go. I'm saying translate this view into church and politics with Pastor Commando, who will be crowning up tonight. It is a very special night in the history of our liberation phase of the struggle. It is a time when Ambazonians were revived again. Today, like ever, I would say, like the Bible says, it's from glory to glory. Whenever the president is coming up, you don't know where does he get his wisdom from? Where does he get his energy from? Today, like never before, and like always, the president has revived the hope of the peoples of Ambazonia. Our fighters on the ground, some are already texting. They're excited. The commander-in-chief, the one who knows how to mobilize resources for Ground Zero, has spoken tonight. And watch out. The days ahead will be different in Ground Zero. The funds are coming in. The partners, the real partners of this struggle, are not distracted, and they are giving the money. They are the ones managing. They are the stakeholders. Like I told you the other day, you must be able to distinguish between noise makers and stakeholders. And there is a noise maker TV, and you find noise makers are gathering there. Do you want to belong in a team or camp of noise making or noise makers, or in a team of stakeholders? History will hold you accountable if you dare take that route. But I'm calling on sensible individuals and citizens of Ambazonia to join this team. This is the winning team, the team of stakeholders, not the team of noise makers. We are the winning team, and we know who we are. I'm walking in power. I'm walking miracles.
Oh
I
yes,
live a
Fadi.
life of victory.
And before
I
you
know
just
who I
round
am.
up, yes, before you round up the program, and I just want to say this to Amazonians, that we are the people who are very focused despite all the challenges. And I like to go back to what the president says, because he says that we have the mandate and the responsibility that La Republic from time immemorial have been hatching out plans and plans to distract us, to destroy us, that we should stay focused on the prize. We should stay focused on moving the struggle forward. And he is at the helm, the executive officer, the chief executive officer, in channeling our energies, our resources to the direction of Boya. And that is what we need to do. Like Paddy mentioned, action, action is what will take us, and we have to do it orderly, in a civilized manner, in and with principles, not recklessly. I will not get up from my bed one day because I feel like I don't no longer like somebody within the cabinet or within the interim government, and I think the whole of it should be destroyed because I don't like an individual within the institution. That is what the attitude we are not taking out for. We are not taking in Ambazonia. We are not going to deal with it after ASSC 2. We hope that the people, the real stakeholders, like Paddy mentioned, would have come together, strategize, and we are going to move forward. We will not come on Facebook to shout and give the enemy the tools against us. We will not come to Facebook to expose our weaknesses to the enemy so they can deal with us. No, we would be able to work together, because I strongly believe that a revolution and is not for the weak-minded. It's not for the low-mind people, like Paddy will put it. It's not for people with with control, without control of their temperament. These are people who have high awareness and self-awareness of one, the war that we are fighting, because the war of Amazonia is a very sensitive one, and we are fighting in a war in a time where information is an information age. So we should be able to act before the enemy notice, not to start shouting before we act. So this is the next era that we are moving into people we can trust, into people we can depend on, not people that we would depend on and trust, and they will betray and failed in what we entrust on them, and then start pointing their failures and insecurity and projecting it on others. So we are taking ourselves forward to the next level. Thank you, fellow Ambazonians, for joining us tonight, and we hope you stay tuned on ABC Amber TV. And Paddy has talked so much about the website, and yes, you will be getting all your updates, and yes, you will see all of us more often on ABC to give you more updates of what is happening within the interim government and the hopes for the future for our struggle. Thank you.
Yes, temperament is very important, Lady Casey. We do not want a leadership with untamed temperament. Like I told you earlier on, there is a difference between indecency and democracy. We need leaders level-headed leadership, and a leader like Dr. Sako. In spite of the insults, he never insults. In spite of the distractions, he's never distracted. In spite of the fear injected amidst our struggle, he's never fearful. Every time he speaks, you see a man from the depth of his breath who is ready to fight the enemy. And that's why the enemy is so desperate, employing renegades from within, employing those who have made themselves instrument of evil to bring him down. But we are undeterred, we are unshaken, and this is the right time for us to win. I'm walking in power and walking miracles. I live a life of victory. I know who I am. This is the end of tonight's post-speech analysis. With me was the press secretary of the state of Ambazonia, Lady Casey. I want to say good night, bye-bye. This is Tapari King.
Good night.
We done.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure Pastor Commando is back the stage waiting for us. So
yeah,
we need to round off so that you can tune in. Ambazonians are still on board.